Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Thursday, September 11th, 2025. A suspected motorcycle rider under the influence caused a collision that left him and a pedestrian injured. On Saturday at around 11:30 a.m., the California Highway Patrol says Chaz Lithgow, a 33-year-old man from 29 Palms, was driving a Suzuki motorcycle within the westbound lane of Indian Trail east of Morongo Road in 29 Palms. The CHP says that Lithgow collided with a Toyota Camry and a 40-year-old male pedestrian. Lithgow and the pedestrian were both transported to Desert Regional Medical Center for attention for moderate injuries sustained from the crash. The CHP says a DUI investigation determined Lithgow was driving while under the influence of alcohol. The CHP is recommending felony charges against Lithgow for driving under the influence and causing injury. No arrests have yet been made. The hit-and-run case from January 2024 faces its 11th delay in court following the reveal of a new potential witness. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with more.
Troy Reynolds, the suspect in a 2024 hit-and-run collision that killed Yucca Valley teenager Joshua Barreras, returned to court on Wednesday morning for a pre-preliminary hearing. District Attorney Jason Getzlow was present for the prosecution, as was Attorney James Rogan for the defense. Before the hearing, both parties stepped out of the courtroom with Judge Sarah Oliver for a chambers conference. Judge Oliver began the proceedings by asking whether the victim's family was in attendance and confirmed with Getzlow that they were being communicated with. She then explained that the defense had become aware of a potential exculpatory witness that morning and requested a brief continuance to investigate its merit. Rogan proposed a new preliminary hearing date of October 23rd. Getzlow said that the prosecution did object to the request, stating that they were ready to proceed with the preliminary hearing scheduled for the following day. Judge Oliver granted the continuance over the prosecution's objection, as the tip was for an alleged witness to the hit-and-run collision. She said, quote, "I am duty-bound to allow the continuance for that purpose. While this is a case that has been taking some time, it must be done correctly. We must follow and cross every T and dot every I," end quote. Judge Oliver concluded by stating she would proceed on October 23rd regardless. She scheduled a pre-preliminary hearing for October 21st and a preliminary hearing for October 23rd. Troy Reynolds is charged with felony hit-and-run resulting in permanent injury or death. He is currently out on $500,000 bail. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission met this week, and their light agenda was bolstered by a sizable update from town staff on projects around town. Online news editor Robert Hayden has the recap.
Associate Town Planner Jared Jerome took the meeting after the consent agenda was passed. He provided updates on projects in all different stages of planning and construction. First up, he says that the town is making good progress on the Aquatic Center. It's about 1 year out from being operational. The Yucca Valley Senior Center should also be completed within the next few months. The athletic facilities are moving forward as the town has received their take permit from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife for the Joshua trees in the area. The construction of the 8 pickleball courts and parking facilities should be underway in about a month. Yucca Trail is going to be widened from Palomar Avenue to La Contenta Road to the standard of 100 feet right away. The CEQA process has started on that. The fuel station and convenience store plan for Walmart is in environmental review. It's also the same for Sun Mesa Mini Storage and the 980-foot Dutch Bros drive-through and walk-up planned for 29 Palms Highway and Balsa Avenue. All three hope to be in front of the Planning Commission before the end of the year. The former Bank of America building is still in early stages of being converted to a church and a coffee shop, and the nearly 10,000 square foot gymnasium at Joshua Springs Calvary Chapel has been abandoned as proposed. Other projects were a higher priority, according to Jerome. 2 18-acre subdivided plots are being reverted to acreage and hope to be in front of the commission soon for review. Jerome said that there are several reasons for the reversion, one being that the plots contain western Joshua trees. The commission briefly discussed how this goes against the state's request for more housing. Tumbleweed Sanctuary is hopefully getting a review soon, and Las Palmas patio construction should be done any minute now. Jerome then went over some construction updates of projects already underway and provided photo updates. We'll have those at Z107.7 FM.com. For future agenda items, Commission member Clint Stoker suggested taking native plant permits and kicking that back to town staff to approve since the state has taken governing authority on those permits. The Commission agreed it was a good idea to discuss in future meetings and should speed things up for those who have projects with the Planning Commission. The next meeting of the Yucca Valley Planning Commission is September 23rd. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
The Yucca Valley Airport District Board of Directors held their monthly meeting last night at the Yucca Valley Community Center with new business focusing primarily on the U.S. Marine Corps request to expand their airspace above public land and increase its use to 365 days a year. Reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and joins us with this recap.
After receiving a letter from the Marine Corps requesting public input, Board President Tim Lewis referred to their request for expansion as a, quote, bad deal before providing a draft of his response letter to the board to consider. Lewis's letter to the Marine Corps provides a 16-point impact on general aviation at the Yucca Valley Airport. For safety issues, it would force pilots to fly under or around the airspace, increasing safety concerns between military and civilian aircraft. It would increase safety concerns with communities under the special use airspace, generate noise in Yucca Valley, and greatly impact commercial flights that fly regularly through the proposed corridor. The letter also included an impact from the public standpoint, which states the proposed changes would negatively impact the OHV parks in Johnson Valley, stating, quote, "This could all but kill the off-road racing because aircraft, drones, and air ambulance services are used during this activity," unquote. This would have an immediate impact on the annual King of the Hammers event as well, which, quote, "brings tens of thousands of people to Johnson Valley and millions of dollars in revenue into the economies of local communities," unquote. Lewis stated the organizers of King of the Hammers have also sent their own opposition letter. After careful consideration, the board voted to approve the response letter. Finally, the board also voted to raise their schedule of fees by 5%, effective January 1st, 2026. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Gabriel Hart.
Thanks, Gabriel. You can find links to the Marine Corps' full proposed action, including alternative actions, along with more information about current airspace regulations at their website, 29palms.psua.com. The Marine Corps is accepting public comment on the proposed changes until September 15th. The Yucca Valley High School Hall of Fame is accepting nominations for the 2026 Hall of Fame. The Yucca Valley High School Hall of Fame honors Yucca Valley High School alumni, employees, and volunteers who have made exceptional achievements in their field or unique contributions to their community and are positive role models for present and future. If you would like to nominate someone for the Hall of Fame, they must have graduated from Yucca Valley High School more than 10 years ago or have been actively involved, either past or presently, with Yucca Valley students. The nominee must be present for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony unless the award will be given posthumously. The Hall of Fame asks that you use the nomination form and include as much information as possible as to the rationale for the nomination, not just submit a name. Nomination forms are available by email at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. All nominees must be submitted by November 1st. And finally, residents of California have seen a plethora of changes to requirements for trash and organic waste disposal. As state laws are reaching the local level, residents are left with questions about the proper way to dispose of their unwanted materials. On tomorrow's Z107.7 Up Close show, Clara Vera of Burtec Waste Management will outline the new laws and requirements and how trash and organics here in the Morongo Basin are processed and transferred. We're talking trash on the Z107.7 Up Close show with Gary Daigneault, live Friday morning at 10 a.m. at Z107.7. It will be available as a podcast later in the afternoon. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.